Hello and welcome back to another Star Wars Legion unboxing and painting tutorial. For this tutorial, we're going to be going over Gar Saxon for the mercenary squad in Star Wars Legion. Going to try to get this painted up to a quick, easy tabletop standard. So we're going to go ahead and flip all the camera around here, unbox, see what we got, put them together, and then we'll go ahead and start painting him up. So here's the box for Gar Saxon. They're all pretty much the same, so we really don't need to go over the box there, but let's get this opened up and see what we have inside. So as they've been doing lately, we get a little poster of essentially the box that they come with, or that they come in. I'm actually going to use this for painting, so I can try to make it look as similar to that as possible. We got the base, obviously. We've got tokens and some cards. The first card we have here is Saxon's 90 rifle, 1 to 4 high velocity. Saxon's jetpack rockets. Cool thing is that they are an exhaust, so you can use them multiple times. His flame projector, which is a one-time use. Up close and personal, emergency transponder, prepared supplies, and endurance. And we've got the Gar Saxon card, allies of convenience, jump 2, compel, impervious, sharpshooter 1, range 1 to 2 with a red, 2 black, and a white with pierce 1, surge to crit, surge on defense, speed 3. And then his command cards, his 1 pip marked for elimination, just Gar Saxon. Gar Saxon gains 2 aim tokens. Choose an enemy commander or operative. That unit gains 4 observation tokens and 2 suppression tokens. Fight another day, Gar Saxon and 2 troopers. Gar Saxon cannot issue orders beyond range 1. When Gar Saxon issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 dodge token. Gar Saxon and each friendly special forces unit gain outmaneuver. You can spend dodge tokens to cancel cancel crits, sorry. And victory or death, Gar Saxon and 2 troopers. When Gar Saxon issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 aim token. Gar Saxon and each friendly special forces unit gain outmaneuver. You can spend dodge tokens to cancel crit results. So put that to the side, and then obviously we've got the bag here with Gar Saxon inside it. There are no instructions anymore. They actually use this QR code, which, if it's to save paper, well, I mean, it's like the same amount of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and get him all assembled. So here's Gar Saxon all assembled and glued to the base and ready to go. The first thing we're going to do is work on his undersuit, and for that I'm going to do a 50-50 mix of German gray and deep sea blue, both by Vallejo model color. The reason I'm doing this mix here is because I want the undersuit to have just a little bit of color in it, and adding that bluish gray will give it just a little bit of pop. So we're going to go around, we're going to paint up the legs, the undersuit on the arms, the gloves, and that'll be that.
So the next thing we're going to paint here is going to be all of the armor plating. For that I'm going to do a 50-50 mix again of the coal black and Vallejo model color gray green. Again, this is going to be, the reason I'm going with this mix is I don't want the armor plates and the skirt and everything to be just pure black. You can't really go any darker than black. And again, I want to have a little bit of color for all of that armor plating and for his skirt. So I'm gonna go around, do the boots, the kneecaps, the shoulder pads, the arm guards, all of that in that 50-50 mix, and then we'll move to the next step. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the holsters and the visors, or the visor, pardon me. Here I'm just using the Pro Acryl Black. You can use any black that you want. Just doing a quick coat here of both of the holsters, and then his visor and the belt. Now we're going to move to the weapons and the jetpack and the horns. For that, I'm doing the Pro Grill Black mixed with Vallejo model color gunmetal gray. This is about a 50-50 mix, and we're just going to go through, find all of the metallic pieces, and just get that coated in that color. So now it's time to start working on the shield, and for that I'm going with the Vallejo model color dark blue, and we're just going to get a nice coat on this shield. This is the one part of the Mini that I actually am not 100% sold with. I'm not sure how I would have done it differently. Part of me thinks that maybe I should just paint it white and then do a blue wash and see what that looks like. I have a second shield, so I may end up doing that to see what that looks like. But this is the one part of the Mini that I don't feel is up to snuff. But anyway, we're just gonna put that blue coat down, and then that'll be it for the base colors. Here we have all the base colors done, so now we're just going to go through and start highlighting. The first thing I'm going to do is that 50-50 mix of German gray and dark sea blue, and in a few stages I'm actually going to add some medium sea gray from Vallejo model color, and we're going to hit all of the folds in the trousers and in the undersuit, some of the tips of the fingertips for the gloves, a few little areas for the armor. Now we're going to come back and highlight a lot of this with the red that we're going to do, but I just want to again add some dimension and some flair to him. Now we're going to go ahead and start highlighting up his holster, or I'm sorry, his gun, his rocket pack, and do his belt buckle. So for that I'm going back to that Vallejo model color gunmetal gray, the Pro Grill Black, and adding just a little bit of Vallejo Game Air Silver. in a few stages. I'm going to start with the horns, go about 3/4 of the way down. I want to leave some of the black around the base, and then as I add more silver to that base color, I'm obviously going higher and higher up on the horns to kind of make it look like there's some color change. Some of the paint has been worn off on the helmet or what have you. So we're just going to go around here and hit a lot of the edges. The more silver you put in, the brighter it's going to be. So you want to be a little stingy with how much you put on the model. You don't want it to overwhelm. So we're just going to go around and put it in different areas where we want to have, where we feel that the light is going to be hitting on Gar Saxon. Now we're going to go ahead and start working on his belt, and for this we're doing a 50-50 mix of that Pro Acryl black and Vallejo model color gray green. We're going to hit the side of the holster, the belt, anywhere that has just that black color that we want to add just some highlighting to. Don't go overboard on this, but you want to add some highlights to his belt and draw the eyes a little bit. So now comes the fun part. We're going to start adding some color to Gar Saxon, and the first thing we're going to do is lay down some base color with the Vallejo model color red. We're going to hit around, we'll see where he has his red on his visor, the trim around his skirt, and he's got these pieces of, I guess, flare, you could call them, on the top of his helmet. We're going to hit some of that. And then I couldn't really find a lot of good artwork on where he has hit on his armor and his coloring there, so I just kind of winged it and went with a simple design on his armor and his gauntlets, and also down on his shin guards. And again, with his chest plate and stuff, he's got this design that I didn't feel I could properly do, so I kind of just went with this little diamond symbol, as you'll see in a little while. You could paint his entire armor piece red if you wanted to. You could go with any sort of design here. Just take your time, do a couple thin layers with this red, and you'll start to see that Gar Saxon is really going to start popping out here with this red. His backpack, or his jetpack, I also couldn't find any really good reference photos, so I just kind of put some red where I thought would look good on him. Now we're going to come in here and do some highlighting, especially on his bucket here with Vallejo model color Vermilion. I want to put this. I want to draw a lot of the attention to his helmet, and especially to the front of his helmet, where his visor is. I've also decided to edge highlight some of the armor plating as well with this same color. Now that we have the red all done, we're going to come in and start working on the visor, and for that I'm using Vallejo model color Orange Fire. You don't want to completely cover the visor. You want to leave just a little bit of black showing around the edges. It's not super hard to do. It just takes some time, so thin your paints, go slow, get a nice small brush with a good tip, and just kind of get in there and be brave. And for the last little bit of highlight on his visor, coming in with Pro Acryl Golden Yellow, and you want to use this very sparingly, kind of right towards the middle of his visor. So now we're going to start working on the shield. I try to do some blending here that, again, I'm not really happy with. The shield is the part of the model that I feel is underwhelming, but we're going to come in with some of the dark Prussian blue, and in stages we're going to start adding medium blue and sky blue, and eventually we're going to end up with titanium white. We're just trying to make it look like that middle section glows. And so just do this as you see fit. You could do it entirely. Again, I think I have his second shield, and I may just paint it white and then do a wash of a real thin down blue and see if that works. But I'm just going around here and just doing some blending of the different colors, and then eventually the webbing, I guess you could call it, on his shield, I'm going to paint in just straight titanium white. So there we have Gar Saxon all painted up. Really quick and easy tabletop standard here. And I've decided that my Shadow Collective forces are going to be on a desert base. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay down some Vallejo model color brown sand. I usually put about a layer or two of this down before I put any of the basing down, just in case something falls off or any of the basing paste is missed or what have you. This way it'll look good underneath. So we're just going to go down and put a couple layers of this brown sand, followed by some of the Vallejo earth texture desert sand. Just going to grab a stick essentially and start placing that onto the base. And then after I've got enough on there, I'm going to use a brush to kind of move it around. Now the texture paste is fully dried, I'm going to come in with a wash of Seraphim Sepia to kind of give it that reddish tint that I like to see on desert bases. Now we're going to start doing some dry brushing to kind of bring out some of the texture on that base. First thing I'm going to do is dry brush with Vallejo Game Color Earth and just hit, the raised areas of the base to kind of give it some dirty, dusty look. And then I'm going to go back again with the Vallejo Game Color Bone White just to show some edge highlighting on a lot of that texture. So after this final little dry brushing of the bone white, just going to paint the rim of the base in black or whatever color you decide, and your Gar Saxon is all finished up. So that's what you get with Gar Saxon on a quick and easy tabletop standard paint job. Doesn't take very long. You can spend as much time or as little time as you want to on this mini here. But let me know what you think. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. As always, embrace your geek.